What's going on, growers? It's James Pigioni coming to you live from Jersey. It's still not too late to get your garden going. Today, I'm going to share with you 15 crops you could still plant in September. Let's go! The nights are getting cooler and the days are getting shorter. But if today you plant some of the crops that I'm going to share with you, then you can eat fresh veggies like through the whole winter. And I'll also share with you some of my own personal techniques to make sure you get the most out of this fall and winter. September is a great time to get some spinach planted. It's a great cut and come again green. It's nice to be able to go out there and continually grab a harvest of the leaves. By doing this, it'll increase your overall harvest and increase the window of time you can go out and harvest some fresh greens. Choosing the right variety of spinach for your situation is helpful. For instance, if you want a quick harvest, then the space spinach is a really good one because it matures so fast so you can grab a harvest from it quickly. But for fall and winter, a few great varieties are the winter Bloomsdale and also the giant winter spinach. These ones are fantastic because they're super cold hardy. Where I'm at in zone 7A, with a covering, you could grow spinach, some of these cold hardy varieties, through the whole winter. Next up is lettuce. I love growing lettuce. Some of the plants are absolutely beautiful. There's so much variation in texture, color, and even flavor. Another cool thing is lettuce grows quickly and is relatively cold hardy. So if you plant some of the varieties that are known for their cold hardiness, like the bronze mignonette, one of my all-time favorites, then you could be growing lettuce deep into the winter. When it comes to lettuce, I like to succession plant it. Ideally, I like to have one round in the ground growing, another one that just sprouted, and another round on deck ready to be transplanted when I harvest one of them. In early September, I like starting my lettuce in Vego seed cells. Then I take them and transplant them into the garden, 4 per square foot. But as we get later into September and the weather starts to cool, the sun drops lower, and we just have less light in general, at that time, I like to densely direct sow my lettuce. The reason for this is because as these temperatures cool down, the lettuce is going to grow much slower, which makes densely planted cut and come again varieties a late great option. Another crop we can get planted in September are radishes. These are some of the quickest crops you can grow. A variety like the pink lady slipper only takes about 25 days to go from seed to harvest. Not to mention, radishes are cold hardy, like most brassicas, and the cold weather will actually enhance and sweeten their flavor. Radishes are another great crop to succession plant. What I suggest you do is you plant one round today, and then in a week or so, you can plant another round. An additional thing that I like to do is I'll plant multiple kinds of radishes, different varieties, in the same day. So for instance, I'll plant something like the pink lady slipper radish today, and then today I'll also plant something like the giant of Sicily. The reason I do this is because the pink lady slipper, that takes about 25 days from seed to harvest. The giant of Sicily, that takes 35 days. So by planting them on the same day, I'm almost like succession planting because we're staggering that harvest simply by planting different varieties. Next up is kale. We still have time to get this one planted, especially some of the super cold hardy varieties like the red Russian kale, the white Russian kale, and a lot of the curled leaf kales like the scarlet. When it comes to your other brassicas like cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, I wouldn't get those planted right now because I just think there's not enough time for those to head up. But when it comes to things like kale, things that we just eat for the leaves, we still have plenty of time to get these in the ground. In early September, we still have time to get some beets planted. We want to plant these about 5 to 8 weeks before our first expected frost date. They can survive a light frost, but they have to be a little bit more mature. So what I suggest you do if you want to plant beets now is plant some relatively quick maturing varieties like the albino beet. This one only takes about 55 days to go from seed to harvest. Another thing you could do is have something like a row cover on deck to cover your beets. This way you could really extend your season. And another cool thing about beets is we can eat the greens. So say we plant them a little bit late and we think that the root isn't gonna like swell, we're not gonna be able to get a harvest from the root, we could still snack on those greens. Another great plant to get in the ground in September is arugula. I find fall to be my favorite time to grow arugula because it's relatively cold hardy and can survive a light frost, and also it won't bolt like it does in spring and summer. Once the heat comes, you know, the arugula loves to bolt. It grows quickly and has a nutty flavor. And when you grow arugula in the fall, it has a more milder, less bitter flavor than summer-grown arugula. If you're gonna grow some, I suggest growing some varieties like the ice bread arugula, which is known for having good cold hardiness. The cicadas are singing like through the whole, all day today. So there's one in this tree, one in that tree, they're all around. We're trying to work around it, but we have fun. We're in a garden, we're in a paradise. There's gonna be some sound, so I guess it is really what it is. Back to what I was saying. Ice bread arugula does fantastic in the winter because it's bred for having better cold hardiness. And what you should do is, like the lettuce, when you get later into September, plant your arugula super dense because it's gonna grow slower. And also, if you wanna extend the season over even more, grab something like a row cover or something to toss it on top and make sure you can harvest arugula late into winter. Next up, we have Swiss chard. Now is a good time to get some Swiss chard in the ground. When it comes to your Swiss chard, a cool thing about it is it'll survive a light frost on its own, but with a cover, this thing will grow super deep into the winter. You can see I already have some Swiss chard growing from the spring, but if you don't, it's a good time to get some planted because you want to get this one in. It's a great nutritious green that's easy to germinate, easy to grow, and all around a great plant because this thing just never stops kicking out food. Here's a cool idea and something I've been doing for the past few years. If you don't already have some cilantro and some parsley growing, I suggest you get some planted. Even if you don't have time to plant it into the ground, what I suggest you do is plant it in pots. What we're gonna do is plant them in pots, let them grow, and then once it starts to get really cold and those heavy frosts come, we'll take those and bring them inside, somewhere like maybe in the kitchen next to a window that gets good light. This way we could grab harvest from those herbs all winter, and that's a great thing. But what we do is we plant it now, get it started. This way we can benefit from it, grab those harvests, grab those herbs when we really want them deep in the winter. If you want to press your luck and try to get some carrots still in the ground, you can, but you'll be cutting it close. Let me grab a carrot right here. A nice fat one, but a good look to it. So typically, you want to plant your carrots about 2 to 3 months before your first expected frost date. Here, we're about a month and a half away from our first expected frost date, so we'd be cutting a little bit close. If you do want to try though, what I suggest you do is plant a quick cropping variety, like the Mokum carrot. That one only takes about 48 days to go from seed to harvest. Whenever I grab a carrot, it always makes me think of the boss. I wish he was here to grab a bite of it and just be a part of the whole garden. So right now I'll stick a clip of him snacking on a carrot and just wanted to give the boss a shout out. Sometimes we don't mention him as much recently as we have, just because some of you said that it makes you sad if we talk about him and show him in the video sometimes, but then some people say that it makes it happy to see him in the video. So it's a little bit of both. We just try to balance a little bit. Overall, he's always on our mind and in our hearts, and especially when we grab a carrot, it's always dedicated to the young king. Now, I'm going to get into some cold hardy greens. Some of these will grow through the winter with no covering, and they're great ones to get in the ground right now. The first one is going to be Claytonia. This one's often called miner's lettuce and often also called like winter purslane because it has a very similar texture to purslane. It's got a nice lemony flavor to it. And for me, it grows through the whole winter without a cover. Another cool thing about it is if you let it reseed, it reseeds heavily if you want that to happen. So if you do want the plant to reseed on its own, it's a good choice. But if you don't want that to happen, make sure you go out in the spring and remove some of those flowers. The second one is Tatsoi. This one is one of the most cold hardy ones out there. And a cool thing that I love about Tatsoi is the way it grows. It has this beautiful rosette shape to it. And also, Tatsoi I've grown through the whole entire winter with no covering, and it survived even when a snow came down on it. Another one you got to get in the ground is Mizuna. This one has beautiful leaves. It's got like these thin leaves. It's in the mustard family. They have a pretty good flavor to them, but some of the Mizunas look absolutely gorgeous and I love to grow them. Next up would be mustard greens. Mustard greens are relatively cold hardy, and some of my favorite ones are like the Osaka purple one. That one grows compact and is relatively zesty. I also like to grow the Lady Maraski mustard greens. That one has bigger leaves, but it has a really beautiful purple color to them. Another one you should get in the ground is going to be Bok Choy. This one grows quick and only takes about 30 to 50 days to get a harvest from it, but it will bolt. So I suggest planting this one in say mid-September. We can't forget about Mache too, often called corn salad. This one grows really slow, but it's also really cold hardy. Another one that will survive the whole winter with barely any help. A fantastic cold hardy perennial is this one right here, red veined sorrel. It has these bright green leaves with this incredible deep crimson veining. It looks so awesome. Not to mention it has like a bit of like a tangy flavor to it. It's a great addition to some of your salads. I mean, I wouldn't make a whole salad out of just sorrel, but it is a great addition. Also, it'll survive a light frost, being one of the cold hardy ones. Actually, it'll survive more than a light frost. Regardless, get this one in the ground. It's a perennial, it's delicious, and I mean, it's an absolute winner. Before I let you go, I want to just give you a few season extension tips. So first off, I'm in zone 7A, so a lot of the plantings that I've shared with you are structured around that time frame. To find out what you still have time to plant in your location, what you want to do is first find your first expected frost date. You can just go on Google, type in your zip code and first expected frost date, it'll kick you out a date. Then what you do is just count how many days it is from now till that frost date. For instance, here it's August 29th and my first expected frost date is October 15th. That means I have about 47 frost-free days left to grow. This isn't an exact, it's more of a guesstimate, but it's great to use as a guidepost to find out what you still have left, what you still have time to get into the ground. Another thing you could do to help extend your season is use some covers. A row cover is a great option. Even a plastic cover is great. In the past, and I still use it, I have a plastic hoop house, an hinged hoop house that I've built. And what that does is it brings me up a whole zone. And I put 2 covers on it. So with each cover, I go up a zone. So I'm in zone 7A. With one cover, it brings me to 8A. With another cover, it brings me to 9A essentially. So by growing in this plastic hinged hoop house, it allows me to move up a few zones and grow a lot more. Another thing you should do is make sure you use some mulches. This will help keep the ground insulated and warm and make it so your roots don't freeze and you don't kill your plants. Also, use some of the things I've shared with you previously in the video, some of your succession planting techniques and also your staggered plantings to make sure you could keep getting continual harvests as we move deeper into the season. Maybe a frost comes later than you expected, and because of these succession plantings, you still have things in the ground that you're still grabbing harvests from, and that's what it's all about. That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. I'm super excited to announce that we have raised, because of you guys, a lot of money for Team Water. So we have raised $3,200 that we're going to be donating to Team Water. And what that means is 3,200 people will have fresh, clean drinking water for a whole year. I just am, I'm shocked, and I'm very grateful that you guys teamed up with us, that you were willing to give in order to help other people. And I'm so grateful for that. And it feels very good to know that we've actually done something really positive that's going to make an impact in people's lives. So I want to thank all of you for helping us, for being part of the team and helping other people. I also want to mention that you guys gotta go over to the community over at teamgrow.us, because this weekend we're giving away 2 free irrigation kits. All you gotta do is go over to the community, make a post, say what's up, post a picture, just get involved, and we will pick a post, 2 posts to give away a free irrigation kit. This is like over $100 value, so you got to get in there. I also want to send a thank you to one of our new channel members, Alan Rogers. Thanks for being a part of Team Grow. Thanks for having your hand in everything we're doing out here. Overall, September is here, yet we're still growing. We never stop. We're always growing. We're always sowing, so we can always be harvesting. We'll catch you on another one real soon. We out.